Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to our usual English sessions for grade 5 students. I want to welcome you all to this very interesting lesson. It's the 14th week, and we are in the unit 6 of the Readers and Writers Notebook. We are very close to finishing the text, and we have a new story this week. As you can see, it is called the Hindenburg. The Hindenburg. When we come to reading the lesson, the story itself, the Hindenburg, as you can see from the picture, we will know what the Hindenburg is all about. Now let's see the details of this story. Now, first we want to look at the question of the week. What's the question of the week? How can unexpected encounters reveal hidden dangers? How can unexpected encounters reveal hidden dangers? Now, what this means, it's actually asking us, there are things in life that we don't expect to happen to us. For example, somebody traveling in a vehicle does not expect to be involved in an accident or to die. A person traveling in a flight is not expecting to get a plane crash. A person swimming in a pond is not expecting that he or she will drown. These are unexpected encounters. So how can these things that we don't expect, how can they show their hidden dangers? How can you know that I'm going to be involved in an accident? How can you know that I'm going to be involved in a plane crash? Most times, things that happen to us, we don't even have the idea, we don't have the knowledge that this thing will happen to us. But that will be discussed later on. Now, let's look at the author of the story. Who is the author? The author is called Patrick O'Brien. Patrick O'Brien. Now, the genre of the story. The genre of the story is an expository text. Expository text. Right. Expository non-fiction. It's an expository non-fiction. Now, the vocabulary we have in the story, there are 6 of them. The first one is spelled C-R-I-T-I-C-I-Z-Z-I-N-G. C-R-I-T-I-C-I-Z-I-N-G. Criticizing. Criticizing. The second word is spelled C-R-U-I-S-E-D. And it is pronounced cruised. Cruised. The third word is spelled D-R-E-N-C-H-I-N-G, and it is pronounced drenching. Drenching. The fourth word is spelled E-R-A. It's a very short word, but has a very important meaning. It's called error. Error. The fifth word is spelled E-X-P-L-O-S-I-O-N. Explosion. Explosion. The last word is spelled H-Y-D-R-O-G-E-N. Hydrogen. Hydrogen. Now, before we actually do anything more, we want to look at each and every one of these words in pictures, and we look at their definitions. Let's start with the first word. The first word is criticizing. Criticizing. Now, as you can see, there's a lady and there is a man on her left-hand side, and they are discussing something. They are criticizing. So what's the actual meaning of criticizing? Let's see. Criticizing means finding fault with, disapproving of, or blaming. Here, as we can see, criticizing is when you find fault with something or with someone. You don't like something. You don't like the way something is done. So you are disapproving of it. You are blaming someone for it. You are finding fault. For example, water was spilled in the classroom. Water was spilled in the classroom. And maybe it's not your fault. It's the boy sitting next to you. He was the one who hit the drinking jug and it fell and the water spilled. And when the teacher asked, everyone was criticizing you, everyone was blaming you, and you try to defend yourself. So criticizing is to find fault or to blame. Let's look at the second vocabulary. It's called cruised. Cruised. As you can see in the picture, we have a ship. A very big ship, can take thousands of people. They are like tourists. They move from one country to another. They move around the world. This ship moves around the world. People, they have almost everything in this ship that makes them feel comfortable. It's cruised. What's the meaning of cruised? Cruised means traveled at the speed at which the vehicle operates. Right, let's go to the next word. The next word is drenching. Drenching. As we can see from the photo, there is like heavy rain in the forest. All the plants they are being hit by heavy rain. So what does drenching mean when it has to do with rain? Drenching means wetting thoroughly or soaking. When something is soaked thoroughly or thoroughly wet with water, we say it is drenching. So drenching means thoroughly soaked or wet. The next vocabulary we want to look at is era, spelled E-R-A. As you can see, you have 4-in-1 pictures here. Each one shows a different period of time. This one, for example, it's in black and white. You can see it is about maybe this 10th century. There's another one, older, maybe a little bit older, the kind of vehicles they use maybe in the 12th or 13th century. This is another one, maybe in the 17th or 18th century. Now we begin to use colors. And the last one, this is modern day, maybe this in the 21st century. This man is a man who is living in the era of the 21st century. So era is a period of time or history. A period of time or history. We want to look at the next vocabulary. The first vocabulary is explosion. Explosion. As you can see, explosion can be caused by something, gas or anything. Explosion can take place in a house. It can take place in a room. It can take place in a car. Explosion can take place in a car or an aeroplane. If a flight is traveling and something hits the flight while it is in motion, explosion can take place and it can cause a lot of danger. Right, so even when you use gas at home, gas cookers, you have to be very careful the way you use it. Otherwise, serious explosion will take place and it can even cause the loss of life. So what's the meaning of explosion? Explosion means act of bursting with a loud noise. Act of bursting with a loud noise or blowing up. When something blows up as a result of something happening that should not happen. The negative and positive charges meeting together, it causes what? Explosion. Let's see the next word. We have the next word, hydrogen. Hydrogen. If you study science, you must have come across some of these words like oxygen, like carbon dioxide, like hydrogen. These are gases. These are among the different gases we have. We have a lot of gases. So among the gases, the 3 of them, you have hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. But what is hydrogen all about? It is a colorless, odorless gas that burns easily. Colorless meaning it has no color. Odorless means it has no smell and that it burns easily. This is hydrogen. Right. Now let's come to the exercise in the Readers and Writers Notebook, page 420. It says choose from the words the one that best matches each definition. Write the word on the line. The first one is finding fault with disapproving or blaming. Finding fault with disapproving of or blaming. The word is criticizing. So criticizing is the answer. For number 2, the act of bursting with a loud noise or blowing up, it is an explosion. An explosion. For number 3, wetting thoroughly, soaking is drenching, as we saw the rain falling heavily in the forest, making all the trees and plants wet. And for number 4, we have a period of time or history, era. Of course, the last one, travel at the speed at which the vehicle operates, is cruised. So this is the first part of the exercise. We're still on page 420, 120. In the second exercise, it says choose the word from the box that best matches each clue. Write the word on the line. The word that matches each clue. The first one, number 6, this is said of extremely heavy rain. Extremely heavy rain. Drenching. For number 7, an example of this is in the colonial period or the Middle Ages era. The next one, number 8, a bomb could make this happen. A bomb could cause what? Explosion. For number 9, this element combines with oxygen to make water. Oxygen and hydrogen is combined to make water. So hydrogen is the answer. The last one is cruised. This describes how a ship might have moved along the water. So this is all what we have for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you benefited a lot. In another session, we'll have maybe discuss this story, the Hindenburg, in full. Thank you so much. See you next time.